We're live, Louie.
We'll be on there in 1 second.
Yes. Hopefully it don't make noise.
Louie C. the Mayor checking in. What is going on, my people? We still in the movie. We're almost out of the movie, but we still in a full-fledged movie right now. I got to give a shout out to the FloridaKeysInjury.com. These are for anybody who gets in an accident, lawyers for all accidents in the Florida Keys. My man, Big Mark, taking care of people in the Keys, definitely making some things happen. And if you're in an accident with a motorcycle, moped, bicycle, any type of accident, these boys are going to take care of you. Like I said, my man Mark Lyons, please turn notifications on right now. Turn notifications on so we can get you squared away. And today we have a very special guest. Before we get to him, I also like to check in with Dr. Burrows, Advanced Urgent Care, Key West Marathon in Key Largo. Today I had my test done for the COVID-19 to see if I build immunity. So it came out negative, so I'm all good. I'm happy about that, and we're trying to keep everybody healthy. So right about now to the program, welcome Doc Dave. What is going on, sir?
Life is good.
Okay. So I
Still
see.
bored, but we're trying to keep as busy as possible.
I heard you when you rode in. What kind of motorcycle is you rode in on?
Well, you know what? Usually I'm on an HD. Today I'm on a Honda. Due to mechanical issues on the HD. Nothing new, right?
I got Tangela Edwards doing the production today. Make sure you check out her Facebook page, and also follow us on YouTube. We got so many videos now. Louie C. Rock YouTube. Go to youtube.com and check out all those videos. This week we got a lot of special guests. Dr. Burrows will be back on the program Friday. We got Lisa Monet talking about fashion. So it's going to be a solid week, and it's a wonderful day in the Keys. Finally, Smathers Beach is open. Went on the beach today. Almost got on a parasail out there. So I'm glad that everything is working out, and we got the beaches open. Thank you to the city of Key West for opening Smathers Beach. And little by little, we're going to get back on track. Also, I'd like to say God bless to Jacory Sala. Unfortunately, passed away this morning. He's one of my people on my team. Still don't know exactly what happened. My condolences to the family. God bless you, sir. And I feel real bad about that because he's one of my guys that was working with me and really was trying to do the right thing and stay out those streets. But I feel bad that I didn't have him under my wing for him to basically not end up like this. And like I said, it's just very sad. We're on borrowed time, Dave, as you know. Tomorrow's not promised, and you got to live life today. So God bless you, Jacory. I love you, man. Sorry that this happened, and it's just an unfortunate thing.
Dude seemed like a good kid, too.
Yeah, he really was. He really was a nice, kind-hearted kid, and he was one of my street soldiers, and God bless him. So, Big Dave. Big Dave. What we're talking about today is rock star, rock music. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff pertaining to rock. We're going to talk about motorcycle gangs. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff or whatever. And Big Dave is a man to talk to because in my book, he is a rock star. Speaking about rock star, in your opinion, Dave, if you want to be in the entertainment business, what does it take to become a rock star and go worldwide and get to that level? In your opinion.
I ain't never been on that worldwide level, but I have found out that a lot of it is, who you know and where you're at the right time. As long as you know how to play to complement whoever you're backing up.
You told me the headline. As long as you can make.
As long as you can make the headline look like a genius, that seems to be the formula right there. It's funny because when I was much younger, I got my schoolings from, I was always the baby in the band, and and the guys used to torture me a lot because I overplayed. I didn't really know the rules and everything. But eventually, after years and years of taking torture from the older guys in the band, I learned their formula, which was, shut the hell up and learn when to come in and when to go out. And don't just play willy-nillys. And that took me years to learn because, back in the day, when you're a kid, everybody wants to show off, I just can't do that.
How long have you been playing music?
Since I was 8 is when I started learning.
8 years old?
8 years old.
Wow. You're about 27 now, so you've been at it for a while.
Yeah, I'm a mess for 27, but dang.
Right.
It's hard living, man.
Yes. Now, let me ask you a question. With rock stars, there's a lot of groupies out there. A lot of groupies come with the higher you go, the more groupies come out. So I know you see some wild stuff out there. So when you've been on the road, and basically I know you play with a lot of people. I know you don't like to drop names, and that's cool. But I know there's been a lot of groupie situation out there. What's the wildest groupie experience you have experienced in your lifetime that you've seen? Because I know you got one that sticks out, and you don't have to go into the X-rated. You just tell me something that's funny.
All right, let's see. There's quite a few of them, but there's 2 of them in general.
Okay.
One of them, we was at a festival, and before the show, I like to go around in the audience and schmooze around a little bit, and so I went to there's all the vendors that are out on the festival,
Right.
And one of my friends had a vending booth with the didgeridoos, I forget what they call them, but he had the didgeridoos. He's real good at it. Sold his own homemade didgers and all that.
Wow.
So I go to his tent, and he's doing what they call a brain massage,
That's funny.
Where they got a tube that goes from your earphones to the didge. So when he plays the didge and it goes in your ears, it feels like your brain's tickling. You're probably going deaf as they do it, but
wow.
So it feels like your brain. So anyway, I go to the front. There's these 2 girls there, and they're not groupies. They're just 2 girls that were attractive and everything. And I said hi to them, right? And they just told me, whatever, he's all over. So anyway, I went in for a brain massage, right? And
so you participated in a brain
participated in a brain massage.
Okay.
Later that night,
I didn't know they had brain massage. I learned something.
They do, yeah.
Incredible.
So we get up to the stage and we're doing our thing. There's a sea of people out there, right? And after the show, they got the VIP section in the back there, with the food and the wine and whatever you want, And there's a security at the at the gate to get in. So the security guard calls me over. Hey Dave, blah blah blah. Come over here, and there's the 2 girls that I said hi to that didn't want to know my name. A couple hours ago, all of a sudden they want to. Oh yeah, he's her buddy. Blah blah blah.
Oh, now you're your best friend.
Now you're my best friend.
That's how it usually works. Before they didn't want nothing to do with you. Now
not a thing, man, right? Because I'm
funny.
all ugly and all that shit, right? So I let him, bring him on in. What do you want? Let them do their thing. I said, but 5 minutes ago you didn't even want to know my name. But
now you're best friends.
A lot of shit like that goes on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But what happens is what Dave is saying is that a lot of people jump on the bandwagon when it comes to entertainment, and the bigger the level, the bigger the headliner, the more groupies be out there. So be careful, because you see there's a lot of people that caught cases messing around, and all of a sudden they don't have no job. Look at the gentleman in Hollywood, Weinstein. He had a big issue, but like I said, when you're at this caliber, girls will come, and you just have to take it for what it's worth. But a lot of people are also going about their business, just going to do their show and going back home, and they got families too, because they don't understand this is entertainment. If you go to a movie, that don't mean that we watch Goodfellas, we actually kill people, in the movie. This is just a movie. It's entertainment, okay?
Oh,
let me ask you a question. Favorite band in the entire world?
There's 2 of them.
What you got?
Merle Haggard and Led Zeppelin.
Okay, have you seen them before?
I've seen, it's funny, I haven't seen Zeppelin, but I've seen Plant and Page, and I've seen Haggard.
Have you seen him in concert or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must be.
And
cool.
I actually have a funny story about Merle Haggard, but
yeah, we'll save that for another time.
we'll save that. Yeah. It's
Okay,
but
so
yeah.
so another thing, me and you. First of all, let me explain to you how I met my man Dave. So we have a sound man at a local venue, and the sound man was out of town. So what had happened was that we don't play around with sound, and Dave definitely don't play around with sound. So I said, well, I'm gonna need to have the sound, squared away. So never judge a book by its cover. This is what you learned from this podcast today. So what happened was, they said there's this gentleman named Dave that does sound. But I have met Dave Fantasy Fest with the Dirty Pig, where he was basically mixing the stage. So can you tell these people real brief how you know that I knew a little, I knew a couple things about a couple things? How did you?
So all right, here it goes. So I'm at the Dirty Pig. So the night before the Dirty Pig, which is the event, I met. I happened to be at IHOP that night, and so were they, with the famous person that they were bringing into the pig. And I noticed he was there, so I went up to him and I said,
good old, you talk about good old Jeremy?
Yeah.
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, Ron Jeremy.
Shout out to Ron, he's doing well.
So,
God bless.
Anyway, so, I told him, I said, Ron, I actually seen you in an actual movie rather than, one of those. Anyway, so we're at the Dirty Pig one night. They asked me to come down and work the stage a little bit and do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, security and whatnot. And so I'm working the soundboard at the Pig, and I'm noticing that there's wires here, there's monitors here, and speakers here, and there's a ton of people in there. And there's Louie's going to have people coming on and off the stage all night long, and there's this photographer guy that's all over the place, like a moth, all over the place, taking pictures and videos and everything. And my first concern was the wires that were going from monitor to monitor on the front of the stage. So my eye is glued to this guy's feet and anybody else's feet that seems to be getting too close to anything that could be screwing up if they hit it.
People don't understand. One misstep will mess up the whole sound.
The whole thing.
The whole shebang.
And so I took care of that, and if I see something stupid, I get one of the stage guys' attention. Hey, keep your eye on that guy with the foot over there, So I see, and I'm sitting here with a mic cord in my hand and the soundboard in the other hand, watching Louie because he seems to be the front guy at the time doing the MC thing. And who knows, I don't want him to get his wire from his microphone caught on a monitor or some shit like that, right?
Right.
So this is when I look up and I notice that Louie's got a whole bunch of, they call it a sheep shank in the rigging business, but it's
what's the name of it again?
A sheep shank.
Gotcha.
Which is an extra length of wire or rope, depending on what you're using, right? And I see that he's got a sheep shank of wire in his hand. And which tells me, okay, this isn't his first rodeo. He's been around a few times, right? So then I eased up a little bit because I knew he's got all that extra wire in his hand. He knows if he gets caught up, he can just let go of a rung or two and he's good to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which made me feel a lot better about Louie because then I could take my eyes off Louie and keep my eyes on the other things that mattered on the stage, and
some of y'all want to be in the entertainment business. You wanna eat, but you don't want to hunt. So if you can't roll up a wire, nobody taught you how to roll up a wire. You got no business being on stage, going and trying to hook up stuff where you can't even learn the basics. So we take entertainment very serious, and in our camp we have professional people here, and Dave is my #1 engineer here locally. And it's a pleasure. So after that, when we did the Dirty Pig for Fantasy Fest.
Wait, speaking of Dirty Pig, when you had that, I want to tell you what.
Yeah.
They had the guy, there was, what's the dude's name from the Playboy?
Lahef.
Hugh Hef.
Yeah, Lahef.
Yeah, okay, Lahef. Now, when I saw him, I had to do a double take on reality because I was like, wait a minute, I thought this dude was
That's a whole different story. But actually, I'm in talks with Crystal Hefner, which is Hef's widow, that passed away, to come on down for Fantasy Fest 2020 because we going full throttle here. You know, we're trying to get back to normal, make sure everybody's safe, and then the party gotta come back up. So thank you for watching. Make sure you turn notifications on. Check out my YouTube channel on the Louie C. Rock. So Dave, another thing that I like talking to you about, you really not watching motorcycle gangs on TV. You actually know a couple things about motorcycle gangs. So you're not the guy that watches it on TV. So
I do watch it on TV though, when they, you know.
Yeah. But
you know.
But what I'm saying is you actually experience motorcycle, you know, stuff that's really serious. It's not.
Well, I am a motorcycle kind of guy. So.
Right. So let me ask you a question. When they talk about motorcycle gangs, what are the?
They prefer to call them clubs.
Clubs.
You know, gangs is the kind of the street thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a motorcycle club.
Okay. All right. So motorcycle clubs. What are the 3 top clubs in the world? If you had to name them off the top of your head.
You know, I hate to do that, but I can tell you 2 of them.
Yeah, I think I know, but go ahead.
I know the Outlaws and the Angels are
right. That's what
are pretty notorious for being on TV a few times, but
gotcha. So we hope that you know this thing is you know going in a positive direction. The reason I bring that up because I want to see the poker run back in Key West, and I know for over 20 years we have not had any type of situation with gangs or any nonsense or whatever. It's been a good, fun event. I know we had one incident a while back, but for the track record, for the most part, everybody's coming out here to have fun. So asking you, what was your opinion, your experience with the poker run? What was your thoughts? Because you know a lot of those guys coming in.
Well, you know, I would say the poker run and bike week, you know, the poker run, you know, I'm not really sure how that started or why, but I know that, you know, here's the thing, man, you know, I ride a lot, so I don't really do the poker run because I get more than my share of riding, but
just in general.
Right. But the guys in the poker run, you know, it's not just a run. There's a game to it. There's
right. So let me elaborate a little bit. Okay, so the poker run was started by Phil Peterson a long time ago because, as you know, September is the worst month of the year for tourism in the Florida Keys. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and I'll continue to say this. Anybody got a problem with tourism, please go ahead and start listing any properties you have and get from around here because tourism. The city and the county cannot survive without tourism. I'm 100% for cruise ships. I'm 100% for spring break. I'm 100% for the poker run. Anything that brings tourism, I'm 100% for Jimmy Buffett coming in with the Parrotheads, the whole 9 yards. So if you're gonna be one goddamn human family, we might as well start acting like it. So I have a big issue. So what happened is they have a hand that they deal, and then whoever gets the winning hand wins a prize. Now, a lot of people don't know that.
You got to finish the run, though. They get all the right hands.
But what a lot of people don't know is that the poker run is actually for charity. And it costs a lot of money to put the poker run. So
but it also brings a lot of bit. I mean, them bikers, you know, they know how to spend the money down
for sure. And they're
really
good people that respect the community. A shout out to the Cartel Baggers. They're a great group that I worked with and I had a lot of parties with. So if you're gang banging or whatever you want to call it, this is not the place to come. We want everybody to be happy, come to paradise, have a good time or whatever. But I got my man Dave over here, and Dave's not talking about it. He's about it or whatever. So I'm glad to keep some of these hitters and killers on my squad in case something happens. But we always try to keep it positive and in good spirits because, like we said, Dave just lost one of my guys today. You know, we on borrowed time or whatever. But I appreciate you on stuff that you bring to the table. I think you make on our organization better, and your sound and your ability to play music is great. We also have, you know, a gentleman named Commissioner Clayton Lopez.
I know Clayton. Real
he
good.
gave you a shout out right here. He says that you're the man on the guitar there. So he gave you a nice.
Clayton, what's up, buddy?
Hey man, Louie, you got the guitar man on there today. James is checking in from Stock Island. You're world class though, Dave. That's what Clayton said. He played some dynamite gigs with us too, Louie. So you played with Mr.
I love playing with Clayton.
What you know about Clayton?
Here's the thing about Clayton, man, right? Clayton has the best mojo He's always smiling. You know, it's hard to be in a bad mood when you're around Clayton. Because now let me just give you an example here, all right? There was a gig recently where they opened up on a street called Emma. They were doing, I believe it was the some kind of veterans club or
VFW.
VFW was it?
Yeah.
Not a VFW, but Clayton helped me out here with the feedback here. Whatever it was. Anyway, they had just opened the place up, and you know, here's the thing, right? You look at the building in the front, and it's just this little yellow little front.
That's
but
the
when you
VFW
go-
building.
Is it the VFW?
Yes, it is.
American Legion.
Yeah, that's it.
American Legion.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
So, I'm invited to come play with Clayton, and Clayton's always got like 5 million guys on. He's got a big band all the time.
You got an entourage.
And
we ain't
he
spoken.
really does.
We ain't spoken about entourage yet, but
And they're very well disciplined, and they know how to play. Coffee Butler was there, and all them guys. And I actually
Coffee
ended up
Butler,
with
what a
Coffee
legend.
Butler.
What a legend.
And I actually ended up on the stage with Coffee and Clayton and all these other guys. And I've never been on the stage with Coffee before, so I felt quite honored that Clayton would even ask me to come to this. You know what I mean? So, so we're on this. You know, I get in the building, and there's the most gorgeous girl in the world that was actually letting people in there. I forget her name, but anyway, we get in the building. The place, you know, it looked like the Ryman Hall inside. It has balconies and a stage.
It's a historic building.
Oh my
and
God.
actually, they just renovated.
It's huge in there.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was so big.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's
Shout out to
these
Bahama
instruments.
Village.
So here's all these instruments on this huge stage, and I'm thinking, oh, this should be pretty fun, you know. Slightly intimidating, you know. But anyway, so we start playing, and what a great sound. I mean, the place was a lot of people.
The
there, a lot of
acoustics are
supporters.
incredible there.
Man.
Yeah. Let me say this, Dave. Also, I didn't get to part 2 of the story from the pig because we skipping around. So what happened is I had Dave come and do a show. Now, you know, we do some hip hop shows, so this was a particular hip hop show. So let me explain something to y'all so y'all can learn something today. I keep telling y'all this. Treat people the same way, black, blue, green, orange, or purple, right? Because Dave came in and you did a hip hop show. Now, you've done a lot of shows. How many shows you think you've done in your life? A lot, right?
More than I can.
But you've never done a hip hop show.
Never done a hip hop
Now,
show.
Give it to my people and explain to them how that went for you, because you was definitely in a whole different section you never
Whole
been.
different
Explain to
section.
them, look in that camera and look right
All
there.
right,
Tell them.
so I get to the job not knowing what to expect. I'm thinking, okay, I'm not a big hip hop fan or nothing like that, because you know, I'm a Led Zeppelin, Merle Haggard kind of guy,
You're
right?
a rock and roll dude. Let's keep it
I'm a rock and roll guy. So
keeping it 100.
I'm walking in. I'm trying to get the sound right for this and everything, and I meet the guys that are the performers. So I go in and check the sound, and all his boys are setting up too, and we're checking sound, and something ain't right. The subwoofers ain't doing their thing. Nothing's quite right. I can't get anything, and I'm in the sound booth trying to, you know, I'm going nuts trying to figure everything out. So I had to troubleshoot everything, and I mean everything. Turns out, never mind all that. Anyway, we fixed the problem, and so the show goes on. And his boys are there, and we're doing our thing. And then the rapper guys come on stage and do their thing. And this one guy that they had, you know, I can't remember the guy's name. He was great.
I believe you was working with Raiden Rush.
There he is.
Raiden Rush.
There he is.
Serious.
Man.
That guy's serious. Shout out to Raiden Rush. All
Dude,
love.
totally,
Raiden.
man.
Yeah.
And, you know, so here I am. You know, I'm looking at the sound booth. I'm looking out of the sound booth, looking at the guy that's doing the performing. You know, working whatever I did to make sure that he
talking
can
about
hear
in the mixing board, right?
In the mixing board,
Right.
To make sure that anything he does, high or low, and I told him, I said, here's my signal. If you need more of this, you do this. You need more of this, you do that. You need more of this. Little signals we had.
And I learned a lot of stuff with you
Right.
just that day too.
And I learned that, you know, man, dude, I had a good time. Who the hell knew that? Who knew? Apparently, I like running a show for rap.
How did my people treat you?
Like gold.
Yeah, and
We had a good time, man. Ain't nobody
learn
fighting.
something.
There was,
Yeah,
you know, there was
go outside the box. Some of y'all stay within the box, like my man Joe Walsh says from Fogarty's, if we went to second grade together, we all talk about conch baseball, then we just keep talking about that. You need to have other people come in who have a different opinion, and you have to agree to disagree. If you have ignorance and you try to talk to people and they still have ignorance with them, cut them off, go to a half circle. You'll never have a problem because, like I said, tomorrow is not promised. You could die today, so there's no need to waste your energy. You a race against time. Every day you constantly battling time because your number is coming sooner or later. Look in the crisis that we're in right now. This has been an incredible thing, and if you made it and you live, be happy. And if you have to come out a better person for this. If you don't, you need to check your soul because basically you ain't really living righteously. So. We just trying to, feed our families, do our stuff, and then be respectful. Back to the cruise ships. We're in the middle of a pandemic, right? It's not the time to talk about shutting cruise ships down. Not in the middle of a pandemic. Be glad to have a discussion after we get through this part, and then, we go from there. How would you feel if you haven't worked since March 17th, and all of a sudden the only thing that you have, they're trying to take that away from you too, or whatever? Have some respect. Put respect on people's name. A lot of people have not missed any paycheck. We haven't seen a paycheck since March 17th. At least downtown over there. This is a reality of the situation.
Fortunately, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an occasion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to save for a rainy day. And it's raining a lot. So that's basically it, Dave. Any shout outs? Let me see who we got there. We got Anthony checking in. I think this is the gentleman that Tangela told me is a photographer. All love right now. Martha checking in. Mikey Story, what's up, gangster? How you doing? Nice to see you. Let me see. Clayton gave you all the love. Let me see who else we got in. Casey checking in. Henry Fuller's got a comment for you. Wait a minute. Where are the drummers? Great guitarist, Crazy Dave. Did they call you Crazy Dave too?
They do.
Why are you crazy?
Let me tell you something. When I first came to Key West, that name. And because I was a biker and carried a knife on my side and all this stuff, Crazy Dave, they thought I'm mental. There's some big crazy biker guy, right? So, I was kind of slightly blackballed because I don't know, I think they were afraid of me or something. Like I wasn't a shorts and sandals kind of guy. I was jeans, boots, and motorcycle,
He was a serious dude.
But, it wasn't crazy because of the head crazy. What they didn't know is that name came from back in the day. I was doing stunts.
Oh, really?
And one day
you was Evil Knievel? Wow!
Hey,
Shout out to Evil Knievel.
See that's EK right there on my wrist.
What does it stand for?
Evil Knievel.
He
was my inspiration.
Put that on camera like that. Put it right there on camera. See that? That's real stuff.
I don't know.
Listen.
E and K right there. I don't know if you can see it, but
for y'all youngsters tuning in, y'all need to find out who Evil Knievel was.
Everybody knows who Evil Knievel is.
A lot of these people are surprised. You better do your reading. We could Google. When me and Dave grew up, it was no Google. But now you could go on Google. So you did stunts like that on a motorcycle?
Well, no, not motorcycle. I've done some stupid shit on a motorcycle too, believe me. Well, back in the day, I was known for falling off of a roof. And one day we invented...
On purpose?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for filming purposes.
Oh, you was on a movie set?
Yeah.
I didn't think you were just doing it on...
No. Although when we were kids, we did some pretty stupid crap to bust you up. But I worked a lot in the stunt business because I didn't get hurt a lot,
Right.
And the one stunt they were filming one day, and I do it was only supposed to do fall off the roof, land, stop. Anyway, the whole thing, and we practiced for 2 weeks before this, by the way. Everything was, well measured out. You fall off the top roof, hit the bottom roof, roll off the bottom roof, and go straight head first into the ground.
Wow.
The director's like, oh my God, call 911. I'd lay there dead for 3 seconds. I got up, I'm fine, Crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, that's where Crazy Dave came from. It wasn't the head kind of crazy.
I second that. I think that's when you a stuntman, you definitely ain't playing with a full deck. That's serious. So listen, we're gonna have Dave on the program in the future. Dave, I understand that you actually there's a movie that you played a part in. What's the name of the documentary again?
It's a docudrama about back in the day I was in a lot of institutions, let's say state raised for the most part, and it was a place called Elan. Atrocities of Elan.
Wow.
Where a lot of very violent things happened.
Okay.
And so my buddy, we call him TJ, He made a docudrama movie.
Is it called The Last Stop?
It is called The Last Stop.
Okay, Courtney.
Who the hell?
Courtney, you know Courtney Hoover?
Oh, Courtney. See, Courtney was the
You know
girl.
that person?
Of course.
Okay. Hey,
Courtney, I've known her since we was in that place together, right?
The Last Stop.
The Last Stop. It's called Elan. But see, they had locked me in a dumpster there or
Hold
something.
on. You said they locked you in a dumpster? You gotta slow down. You talking about where I went today and had a bit of coffee like that. How the hell you get locked up in a dumpster?
Because that was your punishment. Like I said, it was a very violent place. They would torture you.
They locked you up. Does that mean they put you in a dumpster?
They put you in a dumpster with a chain on.
Wow.
And for a punishment, you with nothing but shorts and shoes, right?
How long were you in there?
I don't know, a couple hours. But Courtney, see, they made her as innocent as she was, and really good looking back then too, I gotta tell you. And she was in charge of overseeing that I did not escape or that I did my job, which was to clean it out with a toothbrush while being chained up. So I managed to pick whatever the hell they had me in. I threw the toothbrush out of the dumpster, jumped clean out of the dumpster, because I just had enough of that shit by this time.
Right.
And I saw Courtney sitting there with her clipboard, sitting there with her, you know, the time clipboard or whatever it is she's doing there. And mind you, that, you know, it's not like she has a choice to sit there and
she's working actually.
Well, they make her do that, and if you don't,
she was an employee of the.
No, she was.
Oh, she was in there too.
Well, yeah, an inmate, so to speak.
So she was like a trustee.
No, they make everybody do this shit. You know?
Really?
And if you don't do this, then you just get your ass kicked.
I can see why they made a movie of this. The Last Stop.
So here's Courtney sitting down there with her little clipboard and everything. And I jumped clean out of the dumpster, nothing but net, maybe. I didn't even touch the rim of that thing. Jumped like a gazelle out of there. And as I'm jumping over the dumpster, I noticed Courtney sitting in her chair with her clipboard, and she's looking up like that as I'm flying through the air, you know. And I noticed that when I was looking down, she was quite endowed with some stuff, good-looking things. Right. You know what I mean? Right. And I hit the ground running.
So you escaped?
I escaped like a mofo. Yeah.
So listen, we got to bring Dave back on the show. This has been an outstanding show today. I mean, when you get locked in the dumpster, do y'all know anybody that's ever been locked in the dumpster? I know a whole bunch of stuff, but this is like good.
It gets worse than that.
This is gangster stuff going on right now. So thank you, FloridaKeysInjury.com. Thank you, Dr. Burrows. We're going to have a good all-week show with a lot of interesting people. Dr. Burrows will be back on Friday. We love you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And what do you got here? What's this?
This is the Mangy Moose. This is a friend of mine up in South Dakota, runs a little biker joint called the Mangy Moose.
Okay.
It's
so Dave, I'm not ready quite to ride a motorcycle yet. I do ride a moped. I don't use the front brake because I hit gravel when I was younger. I hit the pavement. So, but I might get, only because of you, because if you got balls to be a stunt man, I think I might have to try. But I'm scared like hell.
No, I teach you how to ride now.
Mikey Story, one of my friends, he said this is one of the best shows he's seen. That's I'm not kidding.
I'm like,
he's been around for a while. God bless Tangela Edwards on Facebook. Go there right now. Make sure you friend request her. And my man, they call him Crazy Dave, and he's gonna be in the docu-series. What's the name of it? The Last Stop.
I can't watch it though. It's
too.
It brings back way too many things for me. I can't. I almost fall apart watching that thing. I can't.
Rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. We rocking and rolling. Holla!